The Pentagon facing mounting pressure to do more to help evacuate Americans and other allies stuck in Afghanistan. The U.S. has close to 6,000 troops on the ground there and has evacuated about 17,000 people since August 14th. Let's bring in retired Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, who was deployed to Afghanistan twice. Lieutenant Colonel, thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. And I want to begin by asking you, in your experience in watching everything that's been playing out, what would have been the better strategy here for getting out?
Yeah, I'll tell you, based on what I physically observed through two tours from 2005-06 and then during the surge in 2010, 2011, I can tell you unequivocally the right answer would have been similar to what General Baldock said a minute ago, to have withdrawn in 2014. That was really the way we should have done it then. Trump tried to get us out in February 2020, but we frankly did not take advantage of that opportunity even before Biden came in. And then when he came in, instead of having a significant amount of time to do this coordinated and under organized ways, we got out really quick, and that just threw everyone into confusion and just undermined what was going on. But I have to reinforce that the bigger issue, far bigger issue, is how 20 years of time and $1 trillion left this Afghan government and military so incapable that they literally disintegrated with the least amount of Taliban pressure. And that's what needs to be going on, because this thing was known, this condition was known by members of both parties, senior military officials, and they all lied to the American people, told them things were going good and well when they weren't. And that needs to be explored much more than just the messy way we're getting out.
And as you know, since 2001, there have been 4 U.S. presidents who have had their fingerprints on Afghanistan. And President Biden is getting criticism from all sides. But when you consider and you take a look back at former President George W. Bush, go to Obama, then President Trump, and now we have Biden, who else in the presidential timeline do you think failed to act?
Yeah, well, I disagree a little bit with General Baldock in that it wasn't Obama in 2014. It was President Bush in 2007. That's where failure was baked in, when he changed it from a military operation to a nation-building operation in providing militarily unattainable objectives. We never had a chance to win under those conditions, and that's why each president had a chance to fix that. Obama had a chance. He really could have gotten us out in 2014 under far better conditions. Consider that in 2014, the Taliban had control of 7% of outlying districts, and we had all the rest of it. So we could have gotten out then, and the Afghan government would have actually had a chance to get itself in order and be secure for its responsible for its defense, instead of the way it worked out, where the Taliban had almost everything by the time Biden started his, and now that we didn't hardly have a chance to get it done in order. That's the real crux of the problem.
And as we do look to analyze exactly what happened here and what has gone wrong over the past 2 decades, we are still dealing with a moment-to-moment mission of desperation by people trying to get out, the U.S. military trying to stand its ground at the airport in Kabul. And I don't believe you can see it, but this is for the sake of our viewers. We have a photo, a map looking up above the Kabul airport. And what it shows is there are gates where the U.S. military is holding its ground, and then you have the entry, and then you have the Taliban checkpoint there, and that in between their main entrance and the Taliban checkpoint, that's where a lot of those horrible photos and videos are coming in. So when you keep that in mind, and people are trying to get to this place, you have the U.S. Embassy and the State Department telling Americans don't go to the airport. You have the Pentagon saying we have the U.S. military ready at the gates when you get here. And then we're also hearing from Jackie Heinrich's reporting that now Americans are being contacted in small groups and that they are to go to a separate site to be transferred by the military to get to the airport. That's a whole lot going on, and none of it seems really cohesive. I mean, our hearts go out to the Americans there. What do you think they should be doing at this point? Because no one seems to be saying the same thing.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why we're in this position, which leads directly to this situation. When the Afghan government collapsed, they had Mazar-e-Sharif, Herat, and Kandahar City, the 3 largest cities in there, and about the time we were getting into the end game here. Instead of fighting, which would have delayed the Taliban entry, all three just surrendered en masse and gave up. And so now then when Biden thought they had more time, all of a sudden the Taliban were there. This just really reiterates the cost to these failures and these lies that not only the Americans who have died, but now all of these people, the civilians, the Afghan people, the Americans, and other Westerners are just in this horrible situation. And look, you got to do the best thing you can when the situation, frankly, goes to hell. And at least they're doing something, and I do give them credit for that.
Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, thank you so much for your expertise and for joining us today. Have a good one.
My pleasure. Thank you.